This is the 2025 Ford Maverick Lobo. What if we take its core DNA and fuse it with one of the most unapologetic, the most controversial, the most insane tuning styles on the planet? Today we're doing something that we probably shouldn't do. We're taking the brand new street-focused Maverick Lobo and I'm going to digitally smash it into the wide-body, rivet-covered world of a Liberty Walk GTR. We're building a JDM-inspired monster that honestly has absolutely no right to exist, but part of me kind of thinks it should. So before I fire up Photoshop, I just want to talk about why I think the Maverick Lobo is one of the perfect subjects for a project just like this. Ford has a history with fast trucks, right? We have legends like the SVT Lightning, the supercharged V8 monster that was the undisputed king of its day, and of course the off-road deity, the Raptor. But a small, sharp, street-focused truck, that spot in the lineup has been empty for quite a while. The Maverick Lobo changes the entire game. Ford didn't just cop out on this one. Under the hood, you've got that 2-liter EcoBoost turbocharged 4-cylinder pushing out about 238 horsepower, not bad. The power is channeled through a quick-witted 7-speed automatic with paddle shifters, if that's your thing. And what's cool is that this setup actually shares its DNA with the rally-focused Focus ST. This is not intended to be your grandpa's work truck. This thing is set up for sharp, aggressive shifts. Ford's engineers gave the Lobo an entirely new suspension setup, dropping the truck half an inch up front and a significant 1.1 inches in the rear. This gives it a mean, aggressive stance straight from the factory. They also upgraded the brakes with bigger rotors, dual piston calipers to make sure this thing can actually, stop. And maybe the most critical piece of the puzzle for our fantasy build is the all-wheel drive system. This is what reminds me of the GTR. It's a clever twin-clutch torque vectoring rear end like the one in the Maverick Trimmer and the Bronco Sport that you can send power precisely where it's needed for incredibly sharp handling. It's what gives this truck a playful, almost drift-ready character when you really push it. This truck already looks the part with its 19-inch rally-style wheels, the body-colored trim, and that lower stance. And with a starting price in the mid to high about 30s, it's a performance platform that for most people is actually attainable. I feel like Ford's kind of built the perfect foundation here. A truck that's practically screaming to be further modified. And that's exactly what this Photoshop session is about. So here's the inspiration. To shove this truck completely over the edge, we need an idea that's completely unhinged. And in the world of car modification, nobody is crazier, more reviled by purists, or more celebrated for being exactly that than Liberty Walk. Founded back in 1993 by the legendary Japanese madman Wataru Kato, Liberty Walk started as a small used car dealership in Japan. Kato-san's philosophy was simple but profound. Build cars that weren't just transportation, but loud, artistic statements of personal freedom. His motto essentially boils down to this: build it your way and make it as wild as you can imagine. That doesn't describe this channel, I don't know what does. And this idea is embedded in their signature wide-body kits. Liberty Walk became famous for doing the one thing you're never supposed to do: taking a flawless 6-figure supercar, a Ferrari, a Lamborghini, and attacking its factory bodywork with a saw. In their place, they bolt on these massive aggressive fender flares inspired by old school Japanese works race cars. The automotive world lost its mind. It was sacrilege. Or was it? Liberty Walk creates pure, unfiltered automotive drama. So with that in mind, the Liberty Walk style is defined by a few key elements. First, those iconic wide body fenders with exposed rivets, which proudly proclaim, yeah, I cut this car up and I don't care. Second is the stance. Their cars aren't just low, they're slammed. Always deep dish, multi-piece works of art with extreme offsets to fill out those massive new fenders, wrapped in stretch tires with a healthy dose of negative camber. And finally, the aero. Huge GT style wings, aggressive front splitters, diffusers that turn a supercar into something that looks like a road legal race car. So of the Liberty Walk cars, the Nissan GTR is arguably one of the more famous ones. The GTR's godlike performance combined with Liberty Walk's insane aesthetic created a global phenomenon. It wasn't just a look, it was an attitude. It's kind of like a middle finger to the automotive establishment. And it's that exact DNA, that excessive philosophy that I want to inject straight into the Ford Maverick Lobo. Okay, so the Photoshop garage is officially open. Over here, we've got our canvas, the 2025 Ford Maverick Lobo, clean, sharp, and already carrying a bit of an attitude. And over here, we've got our muse, the Liberty Walk GTR, a monster of pure aggression. Time to smash these two together. First things first, the stance. It's the foundation of any Liberty Walk build. The Lobo is already lowered, but we could go a lot lower with this. And I think just selecting and copying over the bodywork from the side of the GTR is going to be such an easy matchup to smash together in this Photoshop render. That slammed look instantly transforms the truck's personality from sporty to absolute street weapon. Next, the wheels. And this is pretty simple because we pulled over the entire side of the GTR onto the Lobo, but I want to carry over the rally style wheels from the original Lobo and put them in that deep dish style. This is actually pretty simple with Photoshop. We're going to create a shape that is going to encompass the center of the wheel that we pulled over from the GTR, and then I'm just going to clip down the image of the face of the Lobo wheel onto the center of the GTR wheel. Now we're getting super close. This is what defines a Liberty Walk car. We're not just tacking on flares or upgrading the wheels, but we're digitally grafting the soul of the GTR Liberty Walk onto this Maverick. Right now, I just want to dial this in. I want to get the colors right. I want to get this all so that it matches, and also cut out this front fender so that you can still see the Lobo fender decoration inside of the Liberty Walk fender. So now with the wide body installed, the stock front end just looks a little bit weak. So we have to design a new front bumper and splitter. Actually, I don't think we need to design a new one. I'm gonna carry over what we're doing on the GTR, and we're gonna make this match up right there on the Lobo. All around, the GT Liberty Walk is far more aggressive, especially when we come to that front end where we have larger intakes to feed into that turbo and the intercooler. The splitter is super low and aggressive. It's wide and it has those huge canards on the edges. And it's all of those elements that really anchor the front end and make it that race car that you can park in your garage type of feel. And now for a final touch on this, I want to add a large duckbill spoiler on the back of the truck. And I can already hear you typing away in the comments, bro, a wing on a truck, that's completely stupid. But I'll tell you what, that's the whole point. This whole thing is stupid. We're not building a practical work truck here. We're building a work of fiction. For a JDM-inspired GTR-infused build, a giant wing on the back of a truck bed just kind of makes sense. So where are we at? We just took Ford's brand new truck, we digitally tore it down and rebuilt it into the image of a Japanese tuner. The digital paint is officially dry. The only question is, did we create a monster or a masterpiece? So just to refresh your memory, here's the 2025 Ford Maverick Lobo in its stock form. Great looking truck. But here's the Liberty Walk Lobo. Just look at this thing. The first thing that hits me is the sheer presence of the Liberty Walk body kit. The stance is everything. It's low, it's wide, it's unbelievably aggressive. Those deep dish blue wheels fill out those massive riveted fenders perfectly. The custom front end with that ground hugging splitter just looks absolutely amazing. And then it flows through to the back end, that duckbill spoiler on the back, which probably would render the truck bed completely useless. It's over the top, but it completely transforms the truck's profile from a utility vehicle into a piece of rolling artwork. So there we are. Ford Maverick Lobo reimagined through the wild lens of Liberty Walk. For me, this whole exercise just proves how exciting the new Ford Maverick Lobo actually is as a baseline for enthusiasts. And maybe this is Ford's way of signaling the enthusiasts that, hey, it's okay to have fun with your car and your truck again. But I guess for now, the most important question is, what do you think? Should Liberty Walk build a kit for the Maverick Lobo? Is this the start of a new era for enthusiasts with the truck market? Or is this thing that I just created a pure abomination of the automotive world? Maybe it is. If you have an idea for another what if scenario, pop it in the comments and I'll make a video out of it. Hey, I want to thank you for watching, for subscribing, for liking the video. It really, really helps in the algorithm. And until next time, I hope that you stay inspired, stay creative, God bless, and I'll see you in the next video.